Hey there, my name is Sarah Jane Blum, and I'm the co-owner of Grapefruit Moon Gallery, an online art gallery based out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, that specializes in pinup, glamour, and illustration art from the mid-20th century. I'm here today to talk to you about one of my favorite illustrators, Art Frahm. Art Frahm was one of the preeminent pinup illustrators of the 1950s. He's best known for his Embarrassment series. The Embarrassment series is the most classic example you can think of cheesecake pinup. Cheesecake pinup is that genre where you see really beautiful women who you would expect to be the height of glamour, finding themselves in situations that are just beyond belief. Women getting on the bus and finding that their panties unexpectedly fell down to their ankles. Women going to get their mail and unexpectedly finding that their panties have fallen down to their ankles. Women going bowling and unexpectedly finding that their panties are going down to their ankles. So for a long time, I didn't really know much about why this was such a trope, other than it's silly, it's sort of sexy and risque, because, you're thinking about women's undergarments in the 1950s, which was an incredibly sexually repressed time. And also, it's got a lot of visual interest, because one of the things pinup wants to do is it wants to tell you a narrative story. So to create a narrative in something that is a fixed image, what you really need to do is you need to show a moment that you can envision the before and the after and how those are really different. So there's almost nothing more different in your day than when you're going about your business, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in the center of public humiliation. Now, this isn't something that is very politically correct, and there are things that I have some issues with about it in terms of how it teaches us to think about women. Like, women as things to be laughed at is not really something that I'm going to get behind. But at the same time, there is a question of kind of humanizing the glamour that we're used to seeing in pinup and illustration that I think is important in terms of why pinup still resonates and why people are still just so intrigued by it, because it's not just talking about beauty, it's talking about life. And one of the ways that it's talking about life, to bring it back to what I was saying about how there was a long time where I didn't quite understand what was going on with the trope of the panty drop, is that now it's been brought to my attention that one of the things that happened during World War II was that with the shortage of nylon, there actually was like a huge problem with people being able to keep their clothes on in a traditional fashion. So while there isn't actually really any historical grounding to there being an epidemic of panty dropping in the 1950s, that kind of fear that the elastics that you are trying to depend on that are still fairly new, that are still really kind of considered to be the height of modern technology might fail you, is part of the secret history of pinup, the secret history of Art Frahm, and the secret history of illustration art. So thanks for listening to me tell you a little bit about it.